Hello! Apparently that me undoing my microphone does not allow the system to do that, at least on this page. Hi! Welcome everybody! It has been forever. I hope everybody had a wonderful October. I know I did. Hello Stormy, Exiled. Anyone else who has joined us for the evening? Let's see. Where did we leave off? Oh yeah, we did a thing. We went to Japan. And Japan was amazing. Oh my god, I want to go back already. if not for the cultural experience and all the adventuring we did, the food alone. I always hear people like, "Oh my god, the food." No, they're right. It's the food. Ugh. I don't even like sushi, which I ate a form of sushi. It was a hamburg sushi. It was like hamburg patty on top of a thing of rice with a little bit of a sauce thing. Hi, Exiled! But yeah, that was my form of sushi because I don't like seafood. So, today, while I share in the adventures that was my Japan trip, I'm going to put together a mini little scrapbook using little doodads and things I picked up from Japan. Oh, Mike enjoyed the sushi thoroughly. His favorite was by far the fatty tuna. He absolutely loved the fatty tuna. I let him enjoy it for me. So, while we're sitting here talking, I will do a quick organizing. Yeah, so Japan was an adventure unto itself. We did so much and so little at the same time. 2 weeks is not enough for Japan, honestly. I don't even think a month would be enough. Pokemon cards. These are here for a reason, I swear. But yeah, it was amazingly fun. Let's see, where do we start off? So the flight there, the flight to Japan was not that bad, but it was longer than anticipated. And there was a reason for that. So we left Tampa around 6 a.m. Got to Charlotte a little early. And then we got to Boston a little early. And then we ended up leaving Boston actually ahead of schedule. But I'm scrapbooking, sort of. I'm not good at scrapbooking. I don't have the chaotic creativity needed for true scrapbooking. So this is just me putting it in a album scrapbook style-esque thing to commemorate that. So, it's scrapbooking / junk journaling, I guess. But we went places. We ended up, let's see here, I was saying, so a 13-hour flight, 14-hour flight turned into a 16-hour flight because we had to do a divert as we were flying from Boston to Japan. Because from what I saw on the flight course originally, we would have been going near the Arctic Circle and I think flying over parts of Russia. I think that's their normal route. But there was a no-fly area. There was a restriction so they had to change everything. So we ended up flying more over Alaska and around a part of Russia that I think we normally would have been able to fly over, but we had to fly around instead. And I just remember the last 4 hours of the flight, falling asleep and waking up almost every 2 hours, like every hour to 2 hours. Or even, there was one I even fell asleep for like half an hour, woke up and it had only been half an hour. And I was just like really annoyed with it. Because partially I was getting cramped and like, you know, really uncomfortable. But the other part of it was just, I really wanted to get off the plane. And it's that anticipation of, are we there yet? So, there was that. Which one's this? Oh, yeah. I'll have to show this one to y'all when I'm putting it in, but I don't want to show it yet. Because I want to go in order of what we did. As I'm telling a story. Which is why I'm kind of organizing this. So, was it? Okay, so we got to Japan. We actually landed around 5 o'clock at night instead of like 4. And so we got off the plane. We didn't have any check-in luggage, so that was good. So we ended up just taking our bags, which we very quickly learned that we were hoping would survive us until like at least Kyoto, but we quickly learned that we needed carry-on luggage early, so we'll get there. But we landed in Narita, went to luckily the JR office was still open, so we went to the JR office, got hooked up with our our JR passes. So I had purchased the Hokuriku Arch Pass. And basically what this was it was a pass that took you from, like, you could go from the Narita area up into Tokyo, like, coverage wise. And then it could also take you up to like Nagoya, Kanazawa. There's more places the train stopped at. I'm just naming off places I remembered. Kanazawa, across like up top of the northern part of the Kanto region, and then down into Kyoto and Osaka. Huh? It does the job. No, it's fine. So that's kind of what this did. Do I have my phone? I think I left my phone out there. Mike, can I have my phone? I think I left it out there. Oh, wait, no, it's in my pocket. Never mind. Psych. Alright, let's see here. Let me find Hokuriku Arc Pass coverage. I just want to get an image, so... Okay. So, it covered Narita and Haneda, and would take you into Tokyo, and you can go up to Omiya, Takasaki, Kurizawa, Nagano, Jotsu Myoko, Itogawa, Toyama, Tokuoka? I think you know how to pronounce it. I think that's how you pronounce it. And Kanazawa. And of course, it could also take you down into... So the bullet train... Oh. Okay, so the bullet train that we were on only goes as far... And this is all bullet trains, unless you're going the southern route. This goes all the way to Suruga. And then from Suruga, you have to catch what's called the Thunderbird train, which is like next level down from a bullet train. And we took it... I remember which way we took. I think we went this way, around Lake Biwa, which is this giant lake. It's huge. It was a giant lake. So we went around Lake Biwa, past Tokyo, and we went into Osaka first. So, that was kind of how we took the train. So, shenanigans started off immediately. after we got the pass. I was like, okay, cool, we got our pass. We need to go ahead, and I knew we had to reserve our bullet train tickets, which are bullet trains, also called Shinkansen. So if I interchange Shinkansen and bullet train, you know what I'm talking about. So I was like, okay, we need to reserve our stuff. And I was like, okay, ladies, okay, what do you want? Or what do you need? She wasn't rude about it. She was tired, I could tell, but she wasn't mean. She was like, where do you want to go first? And I was like, we need to go from Tokyo, or from here to Kanazawa. And she goes, okay, so she types in her system, looks it up. She goes, well, trains for Kanazawa are booked full for reserved, only standing room only, or non-reserved only. And I was like, okay, that sucks, but we'll get on that one. She goes, okay, next one. I said, Kanazawa to Osaka. And she goes, okay, which one do you want? Let's pick. And she's like, anything else? And I went, yes, Osaka to Kyoto. Got that settled. So we were able to reserve all of our trains except for the train up to Kanazawa, which is about a 2.5 to 3 hour train ride from Tokyo. Let that sink in for a second. Remember, 2 to 3 hours. That's how long that took. Oh, that was our one back. So, got that. And then, oh, sorry. That's Mike's. Here's mine. No, that's also Mike's. Where are mine? No. I think all my flight tickets got thrown out. Oh well. Those are Tokyo Pass flight. That's Tokyo. Anyway, so we go after we're done getting everything from the JR office and everything. We get our Suica cards, which I have my Suica card. It's currently hanging on the thing here. Hang on. So foreigners get a welcome Suica card, which looks like this. And this is basically to help cover for transit all throughout Japan. And I end up getting, eventually halfway through, a little thing that I could hold onto it, so I could just clip it onto something or stow it faster instead of having to dig out my card every 5 seconds. Because all I had to do was just go boop and walk. So that was nice. We ended up going to our hotel for the night in Narita. So we stayed in a hotel near Narita. When I booked it, it didn't seem that bad. It was fairly priced. I liked the way it was priced. I didn't realize how outdated this hotel was until it was too late. Boy howdy. It wasn't bad. It was clean. The hotel was clean. It was comfortable. There was a 7-Eleven in it, so that was a nice little treat to go to as soon as we got in. It was either a 7-Eleven or a Family Mart. So we got in there. Got into our room. Our room was not bad. Again, outdated. It looked like your great aunt's guest room. It was sparsely decorated. There was some old vintage looking furniture. The bed was at least comfortable. The pillows were okay. And the AC unit, while it worked, didn't stay on. So that was fun trying to figure out the AC unit. So it was a very hot sleeping night. I can say that much. But we were so tired, it didn't really faze us too much. We were just like, don't care, too tired, passed out. We slept. Due to time shift, due to us being East Coast time still, despite how much we slept on the plane, I think we woke up at like 4:30 in the morning and just hung out there. I think I took a shower in the morning. No, I took a shower that night. But we woke up at 4 in the morning and just were like, okay, so we got everything. I think we hung out and just chilled out on the bed for a little bit, and then eventually got up around like 5 and started getting all our stuff back together and went down to the hotel lobby, got some little breakfast stuff from the convenience store, and then caught a bus from the hotel, or I say bus, it was a charter bus from the hotel back to the airport to catch the train from the airport into Tokyo so we could catch the Shinkansen to Kanazawa, because that was our first major destination on the trip. For tonight's scrapbook, I'm using our what is this? Our wedding album, because there's space and because we went as a couple. The picture has yellowed a little bit due to age, but look, it's cute. Let's see. Okay, here we go. And to kind of help us a little bit, I'm going to just take out a few pages. I know. I'm just going to take out a few pages and put the book aside. So, we get to Tokyo, and we get off in Tokyo Station, and we have to go run to our, or we don't run, but we end up going to our platform where the Shinkansen is supposed to take off. And then we get there, no problem. As soon as we get there, we notice there's a lot of people, and we're like, oh. Now, let me say this before. I had thought we would have a chance to sit at some point in this long journey, and so we got ekibens, which are train bento boxes. Basically, they're basically lunch on the go. I thought we'd have a chance to eat. Clearly, I didn't know that this wasn't going to be the case, because I distinctly hear some Japanese gentlemen behind me talking about ekibens. And I'm pretty sure the conversation went something like, they have ekibens. Why would they have ekibens? They're not going to be able to eat them. Something like that. Because I could definitely tell they were just like, that had a stupid foreigners getting ekibens. They were on a non-reserved portion of a train. They're bakas. I have no idea if that's actually what they were saying. They were talking about the ekibens. I know that much. Now, fast forward. Oh, I didn't know I did that. There we go. One too many. So, our train gets there at the station. Are we having a hard time focusing? Train gets to the station, pulls in, and we're in the non-reserved area. And I'm hoping we can grab a seat. Nah, people start scrambling onto it. Now, if you've ever heard about the Japanese train crush, it's basically when people get on not necessarily the bullet trains, but they get on the trains, and as they're on there, they just squish them in there. I knew they did that with some public transport. I didn't know they would do that for the Shinkansen. I've learned very quickly that they don't care. They will do that for the Shinkansen. And they very much did that. They straight up stuffed people into this, and I was like, oh no. This is going to be an interesting trip. So we're standing. And where we're standing, it's basically the middle of between the two cars, because there's nowhere else to sit. There's nowhere else to stand. People are standing in the aisle, of the actual train. Well, people have seats, and then people are just standing in between the walkways and stuff. So it's a free for all. So yeah, our 2 to 3 hour train ride was pretty much us standing for 2 hours. We didn't get to sit until the last half hour. My ankles and legs were so swollen. and they hurt so much. Like, we had moments where, like, there was a small gap that we could sit on the floor where we were, which we did. But I can confidently say that standing for 2 hours on a train was not fun. Oh, and let's not mention that the train actually got delayed, I think, by like 20 minutes or so, or 10 minutes, because we had an emergency stop. How many pages are on here? But yeah, we ended up having an emergency stop because somebody got sick. And then like the next official stop, they got off and helped that person. So that was interesting. But yeah, we got to Kanazawa finally. Mike joins. But yeah, eventually we got our way to Kanazawa. And by the time we were there, I was like, okay, do we go to the Pokemon Center that's in this mall that's connected to the train station? Which near about every train station we went to had a mall connected to it. In some form or fashion. Oh, there's mine. Nope, that's still Mike's. God damn it. What happened to mine? I'm gonna use my Japan Rail Pass. Anyway. Well, where was I? Oh, we got to Kanazawa, and my brain was like, okay, do we go to the mall? Which I think we did. I think we went to the mall for a little bit. Went to the Pokemon Center there, and I got a pin. I got the Kanazawa Pokemon pin, because that was my goal for a lot of the Pokemon Centers that I went to, was to get the Pokemon pin from the location, because most of all locations have an official pin. Then, I think we were in there for a while. Mike ended up getting a CD. I got my pin and a few packs, which got nothing out of the packs. And then we eventually made our way to our hotel. We had to figure out the bus system. Figured that out. Made our way to our hotel. We got a fancy hotel for Kanazawa. Kanazawa was a one-night stay, so half a day one time, and then half a day the next day. So it was like a one-day thing, but one night. And it was. I kind of wish we'd stayed a little bit longer in Kanazawa, like at least one more day. But it was fun. Since we got to the hotel, sat down, unloaded our backpacks, and sat there and went, okay, next thing. So we ended up leaving and going to a ninja museum, which I'm pretty sure I saved the tickets for that one. That's Kinosaki. That's Kyoto. That's Tokyo. That's part of Tokyo. I could have sworn I saved something. Saved that. I thought I saved the tickets for the Ninja Museum. I guess I lost those. Oop. They gave us little tickets and I thought I saved them. I guess they got lost. The Ninja Museum tickets. What? What? super loud. All right, while Mike adjusts that, I'm going to check the closet because I know at one point I had some spillage of stuff. So give me a second. No dice. I'm trying to think what happened to them. What if they accidentally got thrown away? It's a very strong possibility. We had a lot of paper stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if it did get accidentally thrown away. Hang on a second. Negative. Anyway, went to a ninja museum. That's what I was trying to say. And we had little, they gave us little paper tickets that I was going to put in the book, but I can't find those now. So, anyway, if I find them, I'll add them. But the ninja museum, also, there were two ninja museums. There was one where it was more temple based. And so we went to the temple one first, and that was really pretty and really cool. They had like a little program that you could pay to get into, but we didn't want to pay to get into it. Now, this particular temple was dedicated mostly to the their like I want to say deity, but it like their theme was Shiba Inus, so the dogs. This is from a charm that I got. I think it was supposed to be a collar charm for your pet, but I used it for my bag. I did buy, I forgot the word for it now. It's like a little prayer thing where you can leave it there and you can dedicate it to something. And I bought one, and of course it was a dog, so Shiba Inu, and you basically wrote your name, your pet's name, and a little message for your pet. And we dedicated ours to Norris, who was our dog who passed away last year. So that was fun. And then I also got a omiyage? No, not an omiyage. I got a little charm thing. Which is what this bag was from. I wanted to keep all like the same city stuff together, but it's kind of hard to do that. This is all Tokyo here. That's Tokyo. Anyway. So we get to, make sure it's not like randomly, no, my sticker in this book. So anyway, we go to the temple one and we go to the museum, and it was really fun. The museum one, we actually got to see like artifacts from the time that where ninjas were a lot more prevalent, and I learned that the ninjas were a little bit more prevalent in the Kanazawa area and a little bit further elsewhere, but like the lore of ninjas isn't like nationwide per se. Give me a second. I'm gonna add a little something to this. If I come across the ninja one, the ninja tickets, I'm going to add them here. But I wanted to do something here real quick to kind of keep it down a little better. I picked up some washi tape from a loft store. It's this really cute. Here we go. It's just this really cute, like, I want to say Maneki Neko or Kitsune looking character. Here we go. But yeah, if I come across the ninja tickets that I had, if I can find them, hopefully, they're gonna go there. No, I hate it when it does that. I was trying to reduce creases, but it doesn't want to do that right now. So, Kanazawa. We ended up eating at this really tasty bar / restaurant after we walked around. Hard part was figuring out where we wanted to eat, partly because I was like getting hangry, so it was at that point where I was like, I'm hungry, don't care, just But we ended up finding it, and it was really nice. I got to use my restaurant Japanese, which is basically what I call survival level. I can ask for drinks and food and stuff. What else? Okay, we went back to our hotel, chilled. It was nice. Lovely. The hotel was nice. We figured out how the AC unit worked, or I figured it out, so we managed to sleep cool enough. This is where I will complain and say that the American side of me was biggest complaint for the entire trips was getting the AC units, because they don't have central AC units like we do. It's an aircon that's up on the wall. And I swear I will say that was the most annoying thing, was getting the AC units to work. Like, it was starting to get cool, but it was in Kanazawa when it was still fairly warm. So that was fun trying to get the AC to work. Then we went to the next day, because we still had like half a day before we left Kanazawa. Went to a marketplace and walked around there, ate some yummy food. Mike thoroughly enjoyed some seafood, including some eel. And then we both tried, Wagyu beef there, and it was really tasty. And then we went back to the mall area before we left and walked around, found a few more things, and then finally caught the... Okay, here's where it gets really weird. And this is my fault. I got to the train station, got to the thing, and I thought our train had arrived, so we jumped on the train, realized it was the wrong one, and I was looking over, like, I had like my phone out, I'm like looking at it going, okay, this stops at the same stop as our actual train. So I got in touch with a worker on the train and was like, kind of like showed him my phone for like translate, and I was like, hey, we got on the wrong train, can we get off at the next stop? And he was like, conductor will be with you shortly. And I was like, okay, well, we're just gonna jump off at the next stop, because our train is supposed to stop there too. So we jump off and see a station worker. So again, I showed him, like, if we jumped on the wrong train, can we catch our next, our train, showed him which one we were supposed to be on at this station. And he was like, yes. And so I was like, cool. So we jumped off. And we waited at this random station until our correct train showed up. Correct train shows up, we get on. And we go. Granted, this time we actually have reserved seats, so we get to sit. And then our next destination was Osaka. So we get to Osaka, get to our hotel. Or actually, it wasn't even a hotel. We got to Osaka, had to ride the local train system to where near to the part of the Osaka that it's almost like an Airbnb, but it wasn't Airbnb, but it was like a little mini apartment. So we stayed in an apartment basically. Took us a while to figure out where it was, because it's like Google Maps is like, we don't want to show you exactly how to get there, but we'll show you this like asinine way to get there. We finally found it after much arguing. Got in. We were arguing partially because we're tired, we're hungry, and it's hot. It's still hot. And of course, we're in like closer to the like central southern portion of Japan, and again, it's still warm. Got in, chilled out, cooled off, and then our big brain energy said, hey, let's go to Dotonbori. And if anyone is curious, Dotonbori is the famous portion of Osaka that has like all the food and the river, like kind of riverside thing, and the huge like Ferris wheel and stuff. And so we went there fairly late at night. If you like to be overwhelmed, if you like being amongst people, Dotonbori is for you. I'll specify Dotonbori at night is your place. It was crowded. There was smoke from grills coming up everywhere, so it was like enticingly deliciously smelling, along with the chaotic noise and just the crush of people. And there's of course music coming from stores and stuff. I will say the night lights and everything like that and whatnot was really fun to see. And then like the giant like crabs and the golden crazy looking Buddha baby thing and the angry cook chef guy, like seeing all that iconic like Dotonbori Osaka stuff was cool, but again, very overwhelming. And I will say this, we went to the Mega Don Quixote, which is like Japan's super Walmart almost. Trying to think here what else. Okay, so the Mega Don Quixote in Dotonbori is not worth going into. One, because it's overcrowded because there's so many people. Two, there's multiple Don Quixote locations all throughout Japan. If this particular location has a Ferris wheel on the outside that you can ride. So if you're going there to do that, fine. But unless you need to grab something quickly from this store, it was overwhelming. You have the store jingle constantly playing on every floor. You have a crap ton of people, so it's hard to move. It took us a minute to figure out how the store was laid out because it's like stories. It's like one giant store is like, I think it was like 6 stories tall. And it didn't have escalators. You had to climb the stairs. So if your feet are hurting, I don't recommend it. I think we grabbed like a few small things and then left from this one because we were like, it's not really worth getting anything from there. And we left, and like I couldn't figure out what I wanted to eat. And like again, we're in this area where there's like a whole bunch of food, and I couldn't figure out what I wanted to eat, and Mike couldn't figure out what he wanted to eat either. I think it was just because we were overwhelmed by everything. I think one of my only regrets is we didn't get to see the Running Man billboard that's so iconic for that area. Again, it was so crowded and so much was happening, and we were getting hangry. So we left that area, got out, and we're on, I guess, like kind of like a semi-main portion of this area. Again, this is all in Osaka. And when Mike was like, oh, let's go to this anime bar that I randomly found. And I was like, okay. And as we're walking to go that way, Mike was like, well, are we going to eat anything? And I was like, I don't know what I want. Again, overwhelmed. And eventually we spot good old hiragana ramen. And I was like, oh my god, let's just go to that. So we found a ramen shop. And it's just like this little hole-in-the-wall ramen shop. So it's definitely like a local place. So we go over there and we open the door and we check to make sure they were okay, because some places will have a no foreigners type thing. So this one did not. So we open the door, this little sliding door, and he like does the Japanese greeting and then or whatever kind of like greeting that they do. I can't remember how to pronounce it right now. And he sees us, and he's like, ticket. And I was like, ticket? And he's like, machine. I was like he's broken English. He's pointing us out. And I'm like, oh, that's right. Some places do like a vending machine, not vending machine, but like a ticket machine that you order your stuff from, and then you'd give the ticket to the cook, and he goes from there. We didn't see it at first because we walked right by, and we were like, oh, okay, hi. So we go to the machine. This place, this ramen store, had one type of ramen with slight variation to said ramen, but it was one type of ramen, and you either got a beer, water, or cola. That's how like niche and like how singular, like specific this store was. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get the regular bowl. So I got the regular bowl. Mike, I think, got kimchi ramen, I believe. So go in, give the guy our ticket. I got a Coke, Mike got a beer. And we're sitting there chilling. You got our cup of water, a little hand towel to wipe our hands down with. And as he's making it, he kind of comes over with a sign, and on it's got like English, Chinese, and Korean. And basically, it's asking, meal comes with garlic in the ramen. Are you okay with this? And he's like, garlic, okay. And me and Mike are like, hi, okay, because like we're like, just give us, we don't care how you make it. It's gonna be delicious. Give it to us. So he makes it. It comes out. It was indeed delicious. Considering we were in Japan for 2 weeks, I think we only ate ramen twice. The one time in Osaka, and another time I think in Tokyo. And we couldn't get over how good the one in Osaka was. He ruined it for us. That old man's ramen shop ruined it for us. So that was absolutely delicious. I can't remember if that was Tokyo or Kyoto. That's Tokyo. Sorry, I'm looking at little things here. I wanted to organize a little bit. So Osaka was great. Not my favorite city personally, but also I'm saying this mostly just because like we didn't really get a chance, I feel like, to explore Osaka well enough. We were where we were staying. We were down the road from the Osaka Castle, so we managed to like walk to like an intersection and saw Osaka Castle during a sunset and went, cool, click, and that was it. Mostly because like a lot of people are like, it's not worth going inside Osaka Castle, but it's worth seeing, and we saw it, so that was cool. Pardon me, I'm getting this piece of a plastic bag from the Pokemon Center. So anyway, we got I'm so glad. It was so much fun. It was so worth it. I'm trying to cut out like a cool piece of this bag. Let's see what else. We ended up going also to like I think a small market area that was part of Osaka, and then we ended up going to another Don Quixote that was in a different part of Osaka because we didn't go back to Dotonbori. I kind of wish we'd gone back to Dotonbori during the day. Dotonbori, excuse me, not Dotonbori. But we didn't. Like I said, small regret. We ended up getting carry-on bags finally because we were like, our poor little backpacks that we had just could not handle the amount of stuff we had. And stuff, I mean, like clothing. I ended up packing like 2 different types of like sweaters. Like one was a cardigan and one was my hoodie. But again, it was so hot that like we didn't end up wearing them until we got to Tokyo. And then we spent the next day pretty much just shopping at like these mall centers and getting random stuff. Ended up going to like random restaurants that were decent. One was like a sushi place that we got some stuff at. I didn't get a whole lot there just because, like, again, it's mostly sushi. And then we found an arcade. We found a random arcade that we ended up going to. So that was fun. And then let's see, the next day, so we spent like basically 2 days in Osaka. And then the next day we ended up going to Kyoto. So we ended up traveling to Kyoto the next day. Trying to cut this and not cut myself by accident. Oh, and I did go to Osaka's Pokemon Center. They did not have a pin, unfortunately. Either they were sold out or that particular location they just don't do pins. So I ended up getting a coin. They had like a coin press machine that I'm getting a coin from. And then took the train to Kyoto, where we stayed at a guest house that was literally down the road from the Fushimi Inari Shrine. So that was cool. And then, let's see. I know this is a riveting story. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to concentrate on like doing this stuff and at the same time get my story straight from what I can remember. I will say, for the first like 4 or 5 days while we were in Japan, we ended up waking up between 4:30 and like 5 in the morning. So that was fun. Yet I'm trying not to cut myself. What was it? When we got to Kyoto, it was starting to rain. It's been like on and off raining all day. We ended up going to an izakaya that I had reserved a seat at, which was funny because like they asked, "You got a reservation?" I went yes, and like I figured they would like check if like confirm if I had actually made a reservation. Nah, they didn't check. Excuse me. They just confirmed. They were like, okay, cool, and then they sat us down. So we ate like a little izakaya in Kyoto, and then made our way back to our guest house. And then like I was like, oh wait, before we go back to our guest house, let's go walk the shrine because I know it's open 24 hours. It's just like it's just like the shiny stuff you won't be able to do, like getting like stuff signed or getting trinkets and stuff. Like those things are closed, but you can still walk the shrine grounds. So Mike was like, oh okay, because like we've been walking a lot, so it was kind of like, oh okay. And again, it was like kind of like off and on reading. So we go walking the shrine grounds, and we only went up to like we went under the red arches, and we only went up to like not even 1/3. So thank you. Oh yeah, layover is a bitch. No, not layer, but jet lag's a bitch. But we ended up going again. This is the Fushimi Inari Shrine. If you're not familiar with, it's the one with the orange torii gates. That's really famous. The one with like the foxes and stuff. So it's that place. And we're walking this place at night, which at night looks really cool. I have to show pictures. Like it doesn't do justice like my description of it. So this is at night. It's like this is a offshoot torii gate. Mike enjoying food at the izakaya that we went to. This is the main torii gate that everyone's familiar with. And again, this is at night. So at night it's lit up. And it's really cool. And so here's the shrine. And it's like walking up to it. And I got this shot, which was really cool. And then you got the kitsune foxes that are guarding the temple. And there's this other area again, torii gates all over the place. Like these infamous orange torii gates. Like here's one line. That's like the entrance going up to. And this was like walking through the area. So yeah, walking this at night is rather interesting. Slightly creepy, but not. It's got this interesting vibe to it. I had a flash on because I was like, I want to see what this looks like. Oh, no, I had this up by the lamp. That's what it was. So, here's a picture that's interesting. So this area right here, we went up we only went to a certain extent, and then we took a side path that would take us back down to the main temple area and back out to the main, like, to the street. And as we're walking around, I was joking with Mike. I was like, yeah, the further up you go, because technically you're in the mountains, and because you're in like, natural wilderness, there are signs that say beware of, like, boar, beware of monkey, beware of bears. You know, typical forest, like, mountain warnings. And I was joking with that. And as we're walking on that path, I see the silhouette of something that's, like, hunkered over, eating in the ground. And I was like, what is that? Is that deer? Or is that... And I was gonna go back and, like, take a closer look, but something in me and Mike said, no, don't do it. Leave it alone. And I was like, I wonder if it's animatronics. And Mike's like, there's no way those are animatronics. And I was like, well, when we come back in the morning, we'll see. We come back in the morning, we do the whole thing again during the day. It looks just as amazing during the day as it did at night. Come find out, we go back to that area, there are no animatronics there, just as Mike said. Turns out those were boar. It was just a small little family of boar just rooting around eating. So I call that my semi-near-death experience in Kyoto, just jokingly. So we encountered wild boar in Kyoto. And I live to tell the tale. And I'm cutting up this Pokemon bag to go with my little Pokemon section here. But yeah, so we ended up, again, going back to the shrine. Again, we're literally down the road from the shrine. Oh yeah, they'll mess you up. For sure, which is why I was like, I'm glad I did not go back to investigate, because I would rather not have been, one, startled them, and two, I would rather not have been part of a statistic. Be that tourist. An American tourist was gored by a boar in Kyoto. No, thank you. So, also, this is where this comes in. Just outside the shrine was like a Pokemon vending machine, and not an official Pokemon vending machine. This was like a gacha vending machine where, like, you had the possibility of getting some really cool stuff if you spent. And I basically spent the equivalent of $10 or about $8 and got this. I got this. It was like a few other cards, but these are what I got. It's nothing great. So it's gonna be something like that. Yeah. So it got me. Yeah, Florida woman gets attacked by a wild boar in Japan. Yeah, I don't want to end up being that statistic. So ended up not getting anything from the vending machine. So boohoo, but it is what it is. It's a gotcha. And as every gotcha, it's a possibility of getting something. Never a guarantee. Okay, so next day, we go check out the shrine during the day, a little bit early in the morning, so we're not having to deal with the crowds. How many gachas did y'all? We actually didn't do as many gachas, mostly because like we know how they function, so it was kind of like, we're not gonna fall for it. We didn't really do any until we got to Tokyo, which that's coming up. So anyway, we go check out the shrine during the day. It's just as cool. Again, we only go up to about like the 1/4 of the way there. As we're there, I end up getting... Oh, I gotta go grab it. Hang on. Anyway, I got a little good luck thing, which I got my fortune, which this one I think is Mike's. I stuffed mine in my little fortune pouch thing that I bought as a souvenir. Mike got a good luck one where it was like, it was decent luck now, but got better later on. Is kind of what this was about, as far as I remember. I had to like double check with a shrine worker. I was like, is this good or is this bad? And they were like, it's okay. Mine was okay luck. Mine's my thing. But I got this book. I have forgotten what this type of book is called. Let me look it up real quick. Shrine book. Goshuin. That's what they're called. It's a Goshuin. So it's not necessarily, it's like a stamp rally for shrines, but it's not. It's also, you go to shrines and temples and you can get like blessings, I think. I need to look up the actual definition because I'm not explaining this very well. Let's see here. So this is a Goshuin. Go away. Japanese shrines and temples are particularly bustling with worshippers during winter when many pray for health and happy new year. Visiting temples and shrines to pray for good fortune is common practice throughout the year too. Also, with offering prayers to enshrined deities, visitors to Japan's religious sites can pick up mementos of their visit, such as amulets, omamori, which is what I picked up. I picked up omamori, omikuji, which are the fortune slips, which is what I just showed you, and original stamps known as goshuin, which are these. When visiting a Shinto shrine or a Buddhist temple in Japan, you are likely to see people lining up at the counter clutching a small decorative book. They are waiting for a goshuin, an original shrine or temple stamp. Each shrine or temple has its own design, meaning a goshuin is a distinctive memento. The priest or staff member will put a red stamp in your goshuin, the book for Goshuin Cho, the book, for collecting these goshuins. Inscribed in details in black ink. Visitors will find Goshuin as well as Goshuin Cho at shrines, temples, and official offices, which is where I got this one. So I picked up. It's so red all of a sudden. I got this one at the Fushinimi Inari Shrine. So you got the classic orange red from the shrine, as well as the foxes and the torii gates. And this is the one I got from the shrine. And then I had to like double check. I was like, oh, I can use this for stamp rallies too, like regular stamp rallies. And I had to look it up and see if it was okay to do that, because technically this is like a religious-esque type thing. Mike was like, I don't think you can. It kind of feels sacrilegious. And I'm like, I'm double checking. Sure enough, he was right. You can't do stamp rallies, like regular stamp rallies, with this type of book. I did get another one from another shrine in Kyoto. I think it was I have to remember. I have to look it up to remember which one it was. And then they have this little slip of paper to help, like if the ink is still wet, to kind of separate things. In this one, they had pre-stamped ones that you could buy. They didn't actually do them in your book, but you can put them in your book. This one I think was a shrine in Tokyo that we went to that I will get to in a moment. So I have my Goshwin, which was really cool. So after getting that, we left, went to main area of Kyoto. Oh, you know what? I totally skipped something. I forgot. But we got to Kyoto fairly early the day before, which is what I forgot. We got to Kyoto. We ended up going to a part of Kyoto that was really, really far out from where we were staying, which is why we went there. So we ended up going to an area of Kyoto that has a historic tea house. And this tea house is an actual still functioning like tea farm where like they harvest and grow leaves that make green tea. So we got to go do that and visit it. And the reason we went there was because that place, I know they're absolutely gorgeous. But the tea house we went to has a little park area. And at this little park area is a monument to honor, sorry, I'm trying to find it here. Anyway, at this park there's a monument to honor the animators and creators that died in the KyoAni fire. So we went and paid our respects to that. So went and paid our respects. And the tea house itself, like the little tea house and museum that accompanied it, was really cool and absolutely amazing. They have like an event where it's like tea ceremony stuff that you can like participate in, but you kind of have to reserve ahead of time to do said event, which we did not, which is not why we're there. But we went to the little tea house. It was a lot of fun. Definitely worth going. Hydrate. Speaking of tea, I have my tea. I need more tea. But yeah, so went in there. We had a little small lunch at the tea museum and everything. We ended up having a Hamburg steak set. So we had some fries, a Hamburg steak, and which has the consistency of meatloaf, but with like a type of like soy gravy to go with it rather than like ketchup gravy on topping. It was pretty decent. We liked it. And then we had like a matcha dessert, which honestly that was the only matcha I ended up having there. Like everyone would be like, "Oh, we go to Japan. Did you have a lot of matcha?" No, actually we did not. Didn't have, and we barely had matcha. The only thing matcha we had was I ended up getting a matcha ice cream thing at the end of our trip at the place because it was tasty. Because why not? Yeah. No, is it down? Down. Get. Gotcha. No. There. Hard getting stuff there. Anyway, where were we? So next day, Kyoto. Sorry, we went to in order of visit. Got into Kyoto. Went to, it's called the Uji Historic Tea House and Park. That's where we went. Paid our respects to the animators. Enjoyed the tea house. and then went to our guest house, chilled out, went and ate at an izakaya, walked around Fushimi Inari, went to bed. Woke up the next morning around like 5 or 6 in the morning, chilled out, left the place at around 7 something, went and explored the shrine again during the day. Left afterwards because it was starting to get crowded and we didn't want to deal with people. Went into Kyoto proper, and God, what did we do? I'm trying to remember. We did stuff in Kyoto. Where did you get this scrapbook paper? This is from an photo album. So it's technically like photo album thing. I used to have an actual real scrapbook, but I don't have the chaotic artisticness for scrapbooking, like true scrapbooking. But this was part of a photo album. I don't remember what type of thing it's called, but it's a thing where you can like peel it off and like just has slightly sticky, tacky background where you can stick stuff on. That's Manga Museum, Seiyu Museum, the Manga Museum map, and that goes with the Manga Museum. That's Tokyo, that's Tokyo. That's Kinosaki, which that goes with that. Tokyo, Tokyo, Tokyo. Manga Museum. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get things organized. So, where were we? I'm trying to remember what we did in Kyoto now. I have pictures that can remind me. Give me a second. Oh, I know, it's great. Okay, so the next day, we went into Kyoto. And we visited the Pokemon Center. And I got my pin for the Kyoto Pokemon Center. We went to a little park. Oh, no, we went to another temple. After Fushimi Inari Shrine during the day. I gotta remember what that shrine was called. Give me a second here. What was that shrine called? No, it wasn't that one. Nope. Oh, yeah, Yasaka Shrine. That's the other one we went to. That's where my second... In the book thing, that's where the second one came from. Yakusasa Shrine. That one was really cool. Let me see if I can't find a picture of that particular one. Yeah. So we went to another shrine because Kyoto's got like a butt ton of shrines. So we walked around there for a little bit, explored it, had a nice little park in it. Really cool statues of some samurai. And then we went to Nishiki Market, which I think is Kyoto. Yeah. Went to Nishiki Market. Had some really tasty dumplings. And I got to have my taiyaki. I ended up getting the custard one, which was really tasty. And they had Demon Slayer Crocs. And I was like, do you have these in kids size? Because I was going to get one for my niece. Get some for my niece. But they're like, nope, only adults. And I was like, darn it. Another random shrine. This one was a little bit more focused on the bull. But yeah, Nishiki Market was fun. We tried Japanese McDonald's. Mike got the chicken teriyaki burger. And I just got a good old classic cheeseburger. It's a McDonald's. It tasted good. But it's McDonald's. I did get us to go down a famous izakaya alley called Poncho Alley. And then we went during the day. We did not make it to the famous like geisha area because like one, I couldn't quite find it, and two, I think we were too far away from it, and I didn't want to have to deal with the stupid amount of crowd that was going to be in that area. But we ended up walking down the Philosopher's Pathway, which was absolutely gorgeous. It was just a small little creek that you could walk beside. And like having this mixture of like classical looking buildings with modern buildings in the background. We walked that, and that was pretty much Kyoto in general. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, the Crocs. And then, so we basically had done Kanazawa, Osaka, Kyoto. So Kanazawa was like 1 day. Osaka was 2 days. Kyoto was 2 days. So we'd been doing stuff almost nonstop. So the next location was an area called Kinosaki Onsen. And Kinosaki Onsen is an onsen town, which is a hot springs town. That was our rest day. So we take the train from Kyoto up to Kinosaki. And Kinosaki is a small little town. They have at least 9 onsens. And they're just a small little town. They are very well known for their crab. They were tattoo friendly. Yes, that's why I picked Kinosaki, because they're tattoo friendly. But also because not only were they tattoo friendly, but because you could go basically hot springs hopping, because you had 9 different hot springs that you could go visit. And I had picked a traditional Japanese inn, which is called a ryokan, to stay at. So we got to stay at a traditional Japanese inn, which was hella amazing. When we got there early, so like our rooms weren't really ready yet until about 3 o'clock, and we got there early. So we ended up exploring the town a little. There really wasn't that much to explore. Again, tiny town. You could go down one way and go hiking or take a gondola up to the top of the mountain that's in that area. And we decided not to do that because we're like, nah, we've done like a crap ton of walking. We don't want to do that. Also, it was threatening to rain, so didn't want to be caught out there. So we walked around town a little bit, tried to find a place to eat, found a small place to eat, ate there. It was okay. We had it was like a little hamburger joint with a very specialized type of meat, a type of beef. I cannot remember the type of beef it was. It was delicious. I couldn't finish the burger, but it was still really tasty. And then after that, we went and walked around. And we found a museum dedicated to straw art, or straw crafting, which is known in the Kinosaki area, where they took these very fine pieces of straw where some were colored, some were not, and they made these just absolutely gorgeous art pieces, which again, this is Kinosaki. They like their crab, so they had a building that just like crab on top of it. It's this tiny little town in the mountains. But it has this absolutely beautiful little river, a little stream that runs, I say a river that runs in the middle of the town. And then near the train station is this thing where these are sandals from all the different like ryokans or hotels in this area. And okay, the manhole cover game in Japan is like par for none. Like, this is just so cute. This was the Kinosaki one. We came across a shrine. It wasn't really open, but it was still cool to go see. So we got further up into like this little back area here, and it has a small little shrine, offshoot shrine here. But they had like these really pretty trees, right? And I kept walking around and I'm like, I keep smelling like crap, like dog crap. Like I keep smelling that. I'm like, why do I, like, did somebody just let their dog roam free? I'm like, that's really strange. I thought they took better care of the shrines. And I see this old guy come in, and he grabs a bucket and he starts just picking up these fruits that I keep seeing on the ground under this tree, and just throwing them in this bucket. And I picked one up that wasn't like rotting or anything. I'm holding it, and I asked him, I said, Nandeska? Like, what is this? And, or korewa nandeska? Like, what is this? And he said something that I didn't quite get, and I just kind of went, I got to like thanked him for telling me. Didn't quite understand it at first, and then like eventually my brain caught on translation wise to what he said, and basically he said they were ginkgo berries. So basically the tree that I saw was this huge ginkgo tree, and then it dawned on me that I remember hearing that ginkgo berries, when they drop and they rot and they get squished and stuff, they smell like dog crap. So if you ever get a ginkgo tree, get stinky trees. Don't get ginkgo tree. Like the leaves are gorgeous and beautiful, and they turn like this absolutely gorgeous yellow color come fall. But the berries stink highly. Learned that. So anyway, we walk around, we go to the, I was trying to show you the straw art. End up finding this little museum for the Kinosaki Straw Craft Traditional Museum. Y'all, this is made from straw. Like these artworks. Come on. A straw. Straw. These are colored straws that have been woven together to create these artworks. So that was really cool. Oh, this is the gondola that you could take up to the top of the mountain that we didn't do. But it was cool. So eventually, got done walking, got back to 3 o'clock. I know, it was really cool and very impressive. Got done walking, went back to the hotel, and the rooms were finally ready. So we get there, and they do this whole introduction of like, welcome to Kinosaki, welcome to this hotel, which we picked up Mikuniya Ryokan. That's the hotel we went to. It was a really cute one. Like, it wasn't like the most high-end ryokan that was there, but it was a really nice one. And we got a traditional Japanese room, which is what I picked out for us, because I wanted the tatema room, the mat and everything, and I wanted to experience it. We did, however, we opted out of doing like the food and stuff, just because like I'm so picky. I don't like seafood, and a lot of times those types of things are seafood, like the food they give you for like dinner and breakfast and stuff in your room. But also it's an extra fee that I was like, I don't have the money for that. So but when you get these ryokans, when you book these ryokans in this particular town, they have a little pass that you can use to go onsen hopping. So we get to go and enjoy all these different onsens basically for free, because you've paid for it with your hotel. So that was amazing. So we get to go experience onsens. Tis a shame you live on a coast and don't like... I know I'm a terrible Floridian. I don't like seafood. I let others enjoy it on my behalf, though. So we go... We chill at the ryokan for a while. We go bath hopping, basically. We go explore, or we get dressed in our traditional yukatas, which is what the hotel provided. So we get dressed in our yukatas. It's raining heavily, so we decide, okay, this was our hotel room. And they have private baths in this hotel. So we went down, they had like 4 different private baths. So our first one to go to for our onsen hopping night was one of the private baths in the hotel. So we got this one. We made sure there was nobody else in there. It was just me and Mike, so we got to enjoy it. The cool part about this particular one was this little faucet you see right here. That's a cold water tap, so you could actually cool the bath off, which is much needed because it was extremely hot. You think hot spring, you're like, oh, it's gonna be like hot tub style. Nah. That stuff is hot. It was so hot. Wait, I don't want to put this up yet. So we ended up enjoying that for about like 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes. This is after we, you know, took like an actual like little shower before going into the spring. So that's what you do. You clean off your body, scrub everything down, and then you can go into the hot spring. Then we got redressed and made our way out to the actual other onsens. And we went to one onsen, chilled out there for a little bit, and then we were like, okay, we're kind of hungry because it was starting to get a little later, but not too late. People there, oh my god, they really do. I got something to say about that. So, because like I'd see people there, they'd be sitting there for like 10, 15 minutes, not a problem. And I'm like, how? I can't stand this. Like, I'm getting lightheaded. I need to get out. But they'd be just chilling. So we went to one hot spring. Reverse saunas, exactly. Went to one hot spring, chilled out, enjoyed it. And then we got out to the street and we're like, okay, let's go to another onsen. And as we're walking, I'm like, yeah, but I'm kind of hungry first. And we end up coming across not necessarily barbecue, it was like a barbecue joint, Japanese barbecue joint. And we went in and it was a little expensive, but we were treating ourselves. And we got some really tasty, this was, kimasaki at night. But we found this little thing and we ended up eating there and it was absolutely delicious. And then we went to 2 more onsens after we ate and then went to bed, and they had our futon set up and everything in our room and it was absolutely glorious. And then the next morning we got up, chilled out in the room for a little bit, and then packed up our stuff, and we still had some time before I had to officially get out. So we went to this really popular coffee joint that they had in town, and I was hoping they would have this coffee milk thing that they're really well known for, but they were sold out. So I ended up getting like this caramel latte thing they had. Like, look at the caramel drizzle art candy they had to go with it. Like, and it was so good. This was like one of the best lattes I had there. This was our hotel from the outside. It was really cool. So we get back to our ryokan after some breakfast and some coffee, and we get our stuff and we officially check out, and they gave us this little thank you card, which is what this is. And it was like, they have it in Japanese and English, and because I was the one that booked it, they put my name, and they said, thank you so much for choosing to stay at Mikuniya, excuse me. We were truly sorry to see so much rain during your stay. However, we hope you still had a wonderful and relaxing time enjoying the comfort of our ryokan. Have a safe trip. And I was just like, oh my god, they're so sweet. They're apologizing for the weather and they can't control the weather. Honestly though, the rain that night added like an ambiance that was just like, we love this. We want this. Gimme. So it was just absolutely adorable. And we were kind of sad to leave. And we were like, oh, we should have stayed a second night. That would have been cool. I think that's our biggest regret, like for the both of us, was not staying longer in certain locations. So we leave, and one of the things we had to do, this is tricky, we had to take a train back down to Kyoto, and then catch the Thunderbird from Kyoto up to a town called Suruga, and then from Suruga, you catch the Shinkansen, or the bullet train, and normally, because this is us going to Tokyo now, we're on our way to Tokyo. One of the 2 options you could do to get to Tokyo from Kyoto is you take the Tokaido train, or Tohoku train from Kyoto to Tokyo, and that's down the southern route. And because we had the Hogariku pass, I didn't want to have to pay for another train ticket. So I was like, I'm going to use this. I know it's going to be longer, but I want to use it. So this was travel day. So we leave Kyoto, go up to Suruga, and then catch the train from Suruga, and we end up taking the Hokuriku arc all the way back down to Tokyo, which actually ended up being a good thing, because it turns out that there had been delays and suspensions on the Tohoku line like that entire day. So it basically took us all day. We ended up getting into Tokyo around 6 or 7 at night. No, about 5 or 6. I forgot the sunset there so early. That was another thing. Sunset in Japan was so early. We ended up getting to Japan. We got into Tokyo Station. As soon as we got into Tokyo Station, we're like, okay, now we need to figure out our train to get down into Kamada, because that's where our hotel was. We were just outside. We were outside the Tokyo area. So we ended up taking the train all the way down into Kamada. Took us a minute to figure out where our hotel was, because the Google map was taking Mike on this weird route. And so we ended up going in like a circle around the station to get to our hotel. Eventually we figured out, oh, we just need to turn here instead. So we got to a hotel. Turns out the hotel has its own little onsens as well. And they're tattoo friendly. So yay, more onsen. So we get to the hotel, chill out. And I think, where did we leave somewhere to go eat after that? Oh, no, we just chilled out and just enjoyed the hotel. And the next day, I'm going to try and speed this up because it's getting so late. The next day, we ended up going to Shibuya. So the next day trip was Shibuya. Where we started off at a shrine that was just outside of Shibuya. It's a shrine dedicated to the Maneki Neko. Which is the beckoning cat, where I got a little mini Maneki Neko figurine in the little bag it came in. I got my Goshwin, which was the last one I showed you. And then, trying to think here. After that, we ended up going to so we went there, did everything. Yeah, it was a cat shrine, basically. It was glorious. Like, this was the entrance. So here's the entrance. Hubby and I were too shy to try the onsens in our own overtime. You should. Next time, Stormy, do it. Like, they give zero craps. Like, they're just like, I'm here to get washed. I'm here to enjoy hot water. They don't care. And if they do care, they're judging silently, and they can keep judging silently because I'm sitting there enjoying the hot water too. So this was the Maneki Neko shrine. And this pagoda, or not shrine, a temple, this pagoda cracked me up because I was like, oh, it's a cool pagoda. And then I started looking closer at that pagoda and realized that decorated on the pagoda were Maneki Nekos. It was glorious. So you had like the zodiac animals all around, and then like at the very top over the door was a Maneki Neko. And they had like a little Maneki Neko statue. And they had people coming in, and then there's just like a crap ton of these little Maneki Neko figurines. It was just so much. I did get myself one. I got myself a tiny one. Like, it's literally this big. That's how big the one I got is. So after the shrine, we ended up going to, just a little bit north of Kyoto to the Seiyu Museum, which is basically the voice actor museum. Which was really cool. So basically it's just a little mini museum inside of an active voice acting studio. And we got to check out the little mini shrine that it had up there, as well as like the little museum. Mike was tempted to go check out other floors and be like, oh, oops, we're on the wrong floor, hee hee. But that didn't happen. So we went into the voice acting museum. And that was fun. And then after that, we went into Shibuya proper. Where we went to the Hachiko statue. I think yeah, Shibuya is known for the Shibuya crossing, which we went to and saw. It's just as wild to see in person as it is online. It was crazy, yo. Like, it was just so many people. Like, I know some people are like, it's a crosswalk. Why is everyone so obsessed with this crosswalk? It's because it's so much. It's just so much happening and so many people everywhere. So we went I took pictures of Hachiko, and then we went walking, and our goal was to get to a bar. There's a bar there were 2 bars in Shibuya that we had to go to. There is the YouTube couple, Charla and Chris, and they opened up a bar in Shibuya called Lost. And I'm trying to remember. Anyway, at this bar, we got to go and explore it. It was a lot of fun. It was delicious. And it was so much fun going to this bar because, like, we ended up meeting these 2 friends that were there that had just recently arrived, and ended up befriending them and inviting them out to our next bar. But Lost is a really fun bar. If you are craving to talk to somebody that knows your native language, there were a lot of people that were speaking like Australian English, British English, and of course US English. So it was nice to talk to people and not be like that was one thing. I felt slightly isolated in Japan. Not like intentionally like them ignoring us. It's just the language barrier. Like, I know some Japanese, but like the language barrier is still a thing. So we go to the Lost Bar, and one of the things that I got at the Lost Bar other than a drink was a stamp book, because you can go around train stations and collect stamps. And Charla helped create this stamp book, and so I find that she started selling them at the bar, so I got that. Oh, we got these really cool postcards too. They were really cool postcards. There it is. Lost. So you could use this to go to the different stations and different locations and stamp in like the little stamps from each station that you go to. Didn't get too many though, but I got quite a few. So anyway, after Lost, we go to another bar that was down the way called the Whales of August, and it's a movie-themed bar. Like, it's a bar that based their drinks off of movies, whether it be anime or actual movies. So we ended up getting, I think, 2 drinks there. My first drink was Van Helsing, and it was absolutely delicious. And then my second drink was Spirited Away. I'm pretty sure it was in here. Anyway, so we got 2 drinks. Mike got, I forgot his first drink, but the second drink was Ghost in the Shell. But what was really cool was after we were done drinking and stuff, they gave us this little cocktail book, and it has different cocktails in it. I wonder if each one has something different. But yeah, so this one has like all the different cocktails and like how you can make it, or at least what liqueurs are in it to make it. Yeah, Mike had Ghost in the Shell, and I had Spirited Away as far as my second one. There it is. This is the one Mike had. But it was absolutely fantastic. It was an amazing bar to go to, like aesthetically and everything, and it was just, I loved it. So, fast forward. So we did Shibuya. I got drunk in Shibuya. Woke up the next day with a mild hangover, because I didn't get like stupid drunk, but I definitely got drunk. Woke up with a mild hangover. Got a little hangover cure from the 7-Eleven. And then we went to, I think, Shinjuku the next day, where we got to go to, or at least Shinjuku area, where we got to go to a manga museum, where it was a historical museum that held like some of the like manga creators from like the 1930s on up. And this is like basically like the map of the town that the museum is in, or where they were housed and stuff. And basically it was like a live-on campus of a museum or of a building that the mangakas could go and create and like live in there. But they basically paid rent on like a studio room. So that was cool. And they had a really fun exhibit at there where they were featuring Tezuka, because Tezuka used to live there for a little while at some point. And so they had a Tezuka exhibit happening. So that was a lot of fun. So we get to go visit that museum. And what else did we end up doing? We were going to try to hit up Ikebukuro that same day, but it just didn't happen. We did get a drink in Shinjuku. We ended up going to Golden Guy. So we walked around Golden Guy for a little while. Got to like 2 bars there. 2 or 3 bars. Had some wonderful drinks at one bar called the Question Bar, or the Question Bar. That was a really cool one. And then at some point it started getting cold in Tokyo, and we started being able to actually wear our hoodies. And the next day we ended up going to the Asakusa area. We did not go to the shrine. We went to the Asahi building that's there. It's like a black building that has like a golden flame on top. I called it the Golden Poop. And Mike was like, it doesn't look like that. And I was like, it does. It looks like a golden poop. And he was like, no, it doesn't. I was like, yes, it does. So we went up to the top of that building and basically had a pretty decent view of Asakusa, and then we ate there. Or we had a beer and snacked, and then sorry, I'm putting these stickers in here because I got these at the Lost Bar. So yeah, we went Golden Guy. That was fun. And then the next day, we went to where the Tokyo Sky Tree was. Oh, that's right, because we were going to a different Pokemon Center. So I went to Pokemon Center in Shinjuku, Shibuya. They didn't have a pen there. We went to Asakusa, checked out the building, and then we walked over to the Tokyo Sky Tree and got to go up to the Tokyo Sky Tree. So we got to actually, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's not worth going up there. I thought it was worth it. Like, if you don't mind the price, it wasn't that bad. But we went up to the Tokyo Sky Tree and we went all the way to the top. Like, you can pay to either go to like the halfway point, or you can go all the way to the top. We did the top. We paid to basically, you can go to the halfway point and to the top. And we did it, and it was worth it, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a really cool view. We got to partially see Mount Fuji from there, only because of cloud cover that day. We couldn't see all of Mount Fuji, but we saw the base, and it's huge. Like, it's like, you think like, oh, you're far enough away, so it's not that bad. No, 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 no. It's a huge mountain. It's kind of hard to miss. So yeah, that's what we did. And then, God, what else did we end up doing? We ended up doing so much. Oh yeah, someone asked if I did a lot of gacha. I did this one. I ended up getting this and which other one? And this one. So I got these two, and they're really cool looking. I don't know where they are right now. I think they're in my room. But yeah, we ended up hitting up, so we went to Shibuya, Ikebukuro. We ended up going to Asakusa. Ended up going to, Nakano Broadway. Like, if you want, like, nostalgia, like, Nakano Broadway was, like, the place to go. And then we ended up going also to, thinking of everywhere we went. Oh, God, we went almost everywhere in Tokyo. I say almost because there were some places that we didn't get to go to. But it was a lot, and it was very much worth it, and it was also not enough time. I wish we'd had more time to see more. But yeah, Tokyo was really fun. Kyoto was by far my favorite place. There were so many tasty foods. I actually ended up losing 10 pounds. So I chalk it up to the amount of walking we ended up doing. And so now I need to like keep that up because I really don't want to gain back that 10 pounds. But I actually need to get off my butt and like go walk. And if you're curious, we walked nearly between 15K and 20K a day. Just about. So, Japan was amazing. I want to go back. But I think our next trip that we're going to save up for is going to be Scotland. That's going to be another 5 years though. But yeah, worth. We actually also, by the way, we actually ended up under budget for like how much we spent. So I was very proud of us for that. We ended up not, I think we had about 1,500 to 2,000 left over that we didn't spend. So we were very good. We do good. Got a whole bunch of souvenirs for people. I discovered a brand of eyeliner that was absolutely magical and stays on like it's nothing. Like, it's amazing. Sorry, I really like the artworks on these pictures for the keychains that I got. So that's why I'm cutting this out. Which is why I got this gacha, because I really liked the artwork on it. Whereas a lot of the other gachas were like random things. There were some funny, cute ones that I was tempted to get, but like, again, it was just kind of like, eh. Oh, we did do claw machines. Mike got a Dragon Ball Z figurine of Vegeta, and I struggled just to get a Pokemon themed blanket, but worth it. It's a very soft blanket. But yeah, we definitely did crane games. I did Sumimasen a lot, which is, please excuse me. But yeah, I Sumimasen'd a lot because I kept failing. And when I finally got it, the person that had been helping was like, "Yatta! You did it!" I was like, "I know, sorry." But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Did I waste probably about $20 to get said blanket? Probably, but it was worth it. And the reason why there's a Samurai Champloo thing here. No, you're fine. I'm rambling at this point. Let's be for real. But no, it was just so much fun. I miss Japan. I miss the food. I miss the culture. There's like small nuanced things that like I missed. Again, at the same time, I missed America. Like there were certain things that I missed as an American. I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, the bidets. I'm like, the bidets were okay. The bidets were nice. But like, I'm okay without a bidet. I know someone would be like, oh, blasphemous. I'm like, no. I'm kind of okay without a bidet. I miss the onsens. I miss the food. I miss the sense of like newness because that's what Japan was. We were actually we seriously talked about whether or not we'd want to like live in Japan at some point. I think we decided that like we don't necessarily want to live in Japan, but we definitely wouldn't mind visiting again. But it Japan was definitely worth it. We definitely want to go back at some point, whenever possible, if possible. I would absolutely love to go back and see more and do more and experience different areas. I'd love to go and explore like the Fukushima area, not necessarily where like the disaster happened per se, but like just that region. I'd love to go up to the Hokkaido area and go further north and experience that area. Maybe build up my courage and actually go to Hiroshima. But like, I say build up my courage. It's more like I would feel. I would cry in Hiroshima. At least going to the museums and stuff, I would cry. Just because like the tragedy of it all. But historically, very cool. But yeah, I definitely would want to explore different parts of Japan and visit certain areas longer. Honestly, I think I wish I could save up for an entire month in Japan. Like, that would be so cool. But it is what it is. And it was so much worth it. Japan was definitely worth the visit. It was definitely worth going to, was worth seeing, worth doing and experiencing. A lot of my takeaways, things that I would change for next time, would be to book a hotel or a place to stay closer to the stuff that we want. It was worth the jet lag for sure. But I would change the location for some of the places we stayed at. Kanazawa was good. We had a good location there. Osaka was okay, but we were far from like the central portion of Osaka that we would have rather have been in. The only reason we weren't closer for a lot of the stuff in Osaka was because when we were there, the Osaka Expo was happening, so a lot of the prices on places to stay were more expensive. But yeah, Kyoto wasn't terrible. Kyoto was good. Tokyo was the one that was the furthest out that I wish we had had a closer location to the central portion of Tokyo. Like, next time I'd probably find a place in Ueno or Asakusa and stay there instead. Or even closer to Shibuya. A lot of people are like, oh, stay in Shinjuku. Nah. I'm okay with not being in Shinjuku. Cool place to be out and visit, but like, it's mildly Shinjuku. Like, I felt safe in Tokyo. Hi HS, welcome in. I'm just wrapping up the Japan travel time like stuff. But is there any important information on this? Not anymore. Oh, okay, all this stuff is expired. But yeah, I definitely would choose closer locations to stay at. We didn't do a lot of the touristy things, so I'm not really worried about like, oh, I wish we'd done less touristy things. Like, no, we did plenty of touristy things mixed in with stuff that we wanted to do personally. I would want to try more izakayas, more bars, be a little bit more exploratory with food. Things like that. It's like not like big regrets. It's just kind of like, huh, if I had a chance, I'd go back and do like this or try and do this again. I'm gonna tell you right now, my favorite thing to drink there in terms of like adult beverage were sours. Highballs and sours were like the best thing to drink there. Like lemon sours were so good. My favorite, if the bars had it or if the restaurant had it, were yuzu sours, because I'm absolutely obsessed with yuzu, which if you don't know is a Japanese lemon, and I absolutely love them. Those were so good. I had so many sours. I tried a few from like from like the convenience stores. I tried an apple sour that I found one point. No. That was the only thing to drink there. Exactly. I don't see nothing wrong with this. Says the guy who had an Asahi or a Kirin every time we went out. But yeah, those were delicious. But yeah, those are like some things that kind of like I wish I'd done better or would love to try again. I don't have any huge regrets. I would love to experience Osaka again a little bit more, because I feel like I didn't get a good enough vibe of Osaka. Mostly just because I was like overly stimulated in Osaka. It was a lot. I definitely would want to stay longer in Kyoto, but we actually didn't see a lot of the touristy areas in Kyoto. Like, we didn't go to Kiyomiya-dera, we didn't go to the Golden Pavilion. I'm trying to think. Yeah, we didn't do a whole lot of like the super touristy, like must-go-see places in Kyoto. Like, a lot of people were like, oh, you should do this. Mostly because like we just didn't want to deal with that many people. We're like, no, we just... Oh my goodness, we did it. Got it together. Oh, I should... One of the more interesting or funnier things we ended up doing was, while we were out near Asakusa, we ended up going to go see the giant Gundam that's out there at a nearby park over where there's a area where it's like off near the shores, near the port in Tokyo. So we went and saw a giant Gundam, and they had a stamp rally that was going on, and the stamp, I thought it was like, oh, you just, you get the one stamp and you're good. No. You get the stamp and you have to build on it. So like we had to go to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different locations to build this stamp up. Which one is it? This location? This took forever for us to find, because like it was like, oh, it's over here, and like we're like, okay, so we go this way. No. I had to like look up on Google like where each location was, because these were hella hard to find. Like it was so like we had this one, and Yeah, no, like, I had to figure out how to look up to find these four. It took forever to get this. But it was still worth it. And then, let's see here. You got the Lost stamp. So now I gotta look up like the different locations because some of them didn't come out all the way on the stamp. And most of my stamps are all from Tokyo area. I didn't get this book in time. Let's see here. This one right here is like this one's sideways by accident. Okay, so this one is Shinjuku. So this is the Shinjuku stamp. This is the Mejiro stamp, so this is Mejiro Station. This is Kamata. This was our station that we were going to and from. This was our base station. This is where we stayed near. A little shark. Oh, that one's... I'm trying to find it here. Hang on. This one was... I don't remember this one. This was one where we were going to go see the Gundam 3 years later. I know! Hi, Genghis! Obviously, Tokyo Skytree. They had 2 different kinds, and we got both. Asakusa Station. This one, the stamp thing was kind of drying up, so... And then... I think this is Shibuya Station. Yeah, that one's Shibuya. And like I said, I wasn't able to get a whole bunch more, so... But you know what this means? I have to go back. I have to go back and get more. But I absolutely love this stamp book. It's so cute. Oh my goodness. Thank y'all for sticking out on my rambling story of Japan. It was so worth it. I want to go back. I definitely recommend if you ever get the chance to save up and go to Japan. It's worth it. Spend at least 3 days in each location. Tokyo, honestly, of how wide Tokyo is, it deserves its own week. But, like, if you only have 2 weeks, definitely plan it out. It's so worth it, though. Like, oh my god, I want to go back. I miss Japan. Not enough to live there, I can tell you that, but I want to go back and visit. It was so fun. But yeah. Now, let's see here. What's coming up? Thursday, game night. We're switching it up from the Degen card store TCG simulator thing. Mike got us the Legends ZA Pokemon game. So we're gonna play that. We'll see how that turns out, because I really liked Arceus, so I'm really hoping Legends ZA isn't terrible. So we'll do that Thursday. That's gonna be one of those games where I play on the stream, but I also end up playing individually by myself, because that's how I am with Pokemon games. And then next Monday... see here. Yeah, card shops on pause. Next Monday, I have a really fun paper theater that I got from Japan that it has Umbreon and Espeon on it. So I'm going to assemble that. So next Monday will be paper theater assembly. So that's gonna be fun. Oh, before you ask, yes, I did get Pokemon cards from Japan. I picked up more. I got some packs, got nothing from the packs. But I ended up getting individual cards. I got a lot of art rares and a few like dream cards that are like Japanese exclusives. So, and I already put them up, so I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot. Here's this washi tape I picked up. It's just really cute. It's got this kitsune on it. Have little mini cartoons. It does. Oinari-san. So it's a Nari-san. It's just really cute. I had to pick it up. I got it at a thing. Stationery store. God, my brain stopped. You know what that means? My brain stops. It's time to go. Alright. I love y'all, folks. Thanks so much for joining us. I know it wasn't like super exciting or anything like that. I appreciate y'all hanging out and listening to me ramble. Yeah, next trip is gonna be mostly next trip in 5 years is gonna be Scotland. At least that's what we hope for. We'll see what happens. But until then, y'all stay nerdy. Y'all have a great night. We love y'all. We'll see you on Thursday. Ooh, speaking from experience, you're gonna have to fill me in, Stormy. But until then, thanks for joining. See you Thursday. And as always, stay nerdy.